Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is Sarah Smith, and you're listening to Raw Intentions. All right, girls, and maybe there's some boys listening. I'm sitting in the most beautiful little house, not little, big house, in Wash Park with two very special guests. We met through mutual friends in the last, few months, and we only just met in person recently, but feels like we've already known each other forever. We are bringing two best friends, co-founders, creatives, photographers, entrepreneurs, travel girls, all the things, Chloe Talley and Ella Kelly. That's kind of a tongue twister, girls, to Raw Intentions podcast. And this episode was so much fun. They made some Aperol spritz and we just got into it. We go all over the place. We talk about college experiences, post-college, and moving through the weirdness of your 20s, getting out of town and traveling and the impact that that makes on your life, and starting a business with your best friend. The importance of whys and pillars and staying true to yourself throughout creating what you want, and also being okay with creating something that may not look like what everyone else is doing. This episode was so much fun. We talk about everything under the sun, and that rhymed, and the work that we got to do recently together. So I'm so stoked for y'all to hear their story and hear how they started their incredible photography brand. But I'll let them tell their story. So without further ado, let's welcome co-founders of Unfiltered, Chloe and Ella, to Raw Intentions. Enjoy. But I'm so excited. We're going to record a little podcast. I've got Chloe and Ella here, and we're going to just be talking about all the things. Before we get into it, though, I would love for y'all to introduce yourself and tell everyone a little bit about you.
You got it.
Okay.
You go first.
My name's Chloe. A little bit about me. I'm originally from Texas, where I met Ella. We've known each other since we were 11. And then when I was 16, I moved to Virginia, went to college in Virginia. And then once I graduated, I was like, I'm getting out to the mountains. I'm going to go where everyone's being active. So I moved to Boulder. And then
Here we are.
here I am.
So beautiful.
Here we are. That's your story, too.
Yeah.
I was like, let me just piggyback off that.
I second
And
that.
that's that. No, my name's Ella.
I'm Ella.
And that's that. Mysterious Ella.
No, from Dallas, went to UT and graduated and then went to New Zealand for the year.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. And then was like,
How come? Just for fun?
just because I was not ready to get a job.
Mm.
And I got a job at a coffee shop and lived there for 8 months. And it was the time of my life.
So fun.
And then what?
Chloe looks
Well, I
confused.
had a question. Well,
Yeah.
did you do the gap? Like you graduated then New Zealand, then here? Or did you always
Yeah.
have your lease here?
No, I graduated and then I went to New Zealand.
Oh.
And then I came
oh,
here.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
So I've been
Learning
here for a
something
year
new.
Yeah.
and a half.
And then came here.
And then came here.
Why
Mhm.
did you come here?
I
Just
don't know.
for fun?
No, I was supposed to I was in between DU and Texas for college.
Mm.
And then I was like, okay, if I go to Texas, then I'm going to go to Denver after college.
Ah.
So I made a little pact with myself.
And you stuck
and
to
I
it.
stuck to it.
And here we are.
Yeah, right next to DU.
And we also have a live audience member that we should shout out. We've got Grace here.
Grace.
Yep,
shout out
Grace got me a job.
Oh.
Missing like a key. Yeah.
She's sitting there waiting for her turn. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and then I quit, and then you just got fired from the job. I was teaching preschool.
Okay. Teaching preschool.
I was teaching preschool for a year, which is so random. I actually took a test in college. That was because I had no idea what I wanted to do
Mm-hmm.
with my life. And my mom was like, okay, we should have you take a test and like talk to someone.
As if that's not also the most normal experience. Like no one knows what they want to do. Like
Yeah, I know.
we're gonna have to get this figured out.
Yeah. It was like a career test.
Yeah.
And then they like came out with like a list, or like it was like 20 pages long. And then at the end was like suggested jobs, and at the bottom of the list was a teacher.
So he said, yeah.
He said, that's my calling.
Yeah. And then I became a preschool teacher, and I lasted a year. So should listen to the
longer
test.
than me.
Were you a preschool teacher too?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I could never.
What were you?
What was I?
What were you?
I came out here and found a job in technical recruiting. just to get out here. So it was
Okay.
like cold calling, placing people into like back-end JavaScript roles. And then I left there after a year, got into cancer research, pulled in from my mom's research. Words are hard.
Okay.
Cancer research, got fired because I did not have like clinical trial background. Then was on unemployment, so I was getting paid every month. So I was like, I'm going to Europe.
Yeah.
And that can pay my rent at home. So I did like a work away and worked on a farm in Europe for 2 months. And then
Whoa, where in Europe?
Tuscany,
Wow.
Italy. Yeah, it was like on a 300-acre villa with they produce their own olive oil and wine. And so I was up at 7:30 in the morning, feeding the sheep, the cows, the horses, scraping chicken shit out of the like pens and whatever. But it was like,
what a cool experience, though.
Yeah, it was nice.
I wish that I knew more about like the ski bum culture and like working on ranches and stuff after college, because no one I knew really did that, like from where I was from or like from my hometown or my college. And when I moved here, everyone had worked on like ranches or had been like lifties. And because I went abroad for a little bit and I wasn't working, I was just kind of like digging around because that's when I was doing jewelry and stuff.
Was that during college or after
right
college?
after.
Okay.
I started my senior year.
Okay.
But then after college is when I was just like traveling all the time. But it was less of like a work away and more just like me just bopping around. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I wish I had known more about that to like take that longer break. I guess not that I ever did like corporate or anything, but still like just dicking around like right after college. I feel like that's perfect timing.
Well, and I don't think I would have done it if I didn't get fired from my corporate job.
Yeah,
like
totally.
My mom was like, how are you supposed to do that? You can't just like leave and go abroad and like make that work. You have no money. I was like, well, I have unemployment.
Yeah.
That's going to pay me to go abroad.
So I kind of do.
Yeah, so I kind of do. So
were you getting paid or was it like a homestay switch situation?
Homestay, but if I worked extra hours, I could get paid. It was like $10 for an extra hour, but that like paid for my bottle of wine like down the street, or if I wanted like a train ticket.
$10 an hour?
Extra, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Living
Didn't realize you were rich.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, it paid for like my goal was to just like integrate myself when I was there and not travel so much. So I became family with the family I was staying with.
Oh, that's sweet.
And they'll be in my lives forever, which is great. And I think you had the same experience.
Yeah, I did. Well, I went on like a program called, what was it called? I forget what it's called, but it was a complete scam. I was getting on my flight and like I'd been talking to them for like 6 months and like they're promoted it as in like, oh, we'll get you your dream job and all this stuff. And like I had told them I want to work in like the outdoor industry and I want to work in like a ski kind of town or mountain town. And I had in mind Queenstown. And as I was boarding my flight, they kept on being like, okay, we're looking. And as I was boarding my flight to New Zealand, they were like, okay, we finally got your job. You're going to work as a janitor at this like hotel. And I was like, perfect. No. That's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm not. And then went and stayed at a hostel. I flew into Auckland, like lost communication with them. They just like ghosted me basically. I was like, I'm not doing this. Can you find me like my dream job that we've been talking about?
Yeah, I'm trying to live out my
It sounds
dream.
like a scam.
Yeah, no, it was. And stayed at a hostel for a week in Auckland and like just was on Facebook, like Facebook groups and job listings and stuff, and found this girl named Sophia.
Were you like panicked or were you like
I honestly
chilling?
wasn't. I was like, I was like, this is kind of fun.
Yeah.
I'm across the world by myself.
Stuck in the middle of
without a
nowhere,
job. Yeah. And found this girl, Sophia, who was like looking for someone to help me with house maintenance stuff. Like she wanted like her deck painted or something like that. And then also like help me with my 3-year-old son. Because she was a only mom, single mom. And she was like 30. And I was like, oh, that sounds awesome. Like, I'll bust down you. We can meet and like see if this works. And we like hit it off, became like best friends. And then I moved in with her and ended up staying with her for like 2 months.
Oh, no
And then
way.
moved into her best friend's house 2 houses down. And then just like they became like my family down there. And it was amazing. And then got a job at the coffee shop. So everything happens for a reason.
It worked
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Well, what do you feel like for both of y'all? Like, was there anything you were like searching for in those experiences, or was it more so just like the experience itself? Like, what'd you?
I think I like had an itch to like thinking when I graduated, thinking I had no idea what I wanted to do, and like thinking about getting a job and like starting that life was like suffocating. I was like, I need to go, and I also didn't get abroad because of COVID,
Oh, true. Because y'all graduated when in 2022? Yeah.
So I didn't get that experience, and I was like, I need to go.
Would that have been y'all's senior year?
Would have been my junior year.
Junior year. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think, I don't know, to bounce off of you, we had talked about like our college experience, and Elle and I were both like itching to get out of college.
Really?
I felt like college kind of held me back from what I wanted to do in terms of traveling. And obviously, like my college experience was great, but at the same time, I was like, why am I here? Kind of deal.
Like while you were there, you felt that too?
Yeah. Yeah. I felt like I could be doing so much more.
Interesting.
Than being there. Yeah.
So you were kind of just like itching to get out.
Yeah.
And do something else.
Yeah. And explore the world and just like put myself in uncomfortable positions, because that's, I don't know, the game of life and learning.
Grow, yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I feel like retrospectively, I see that for myself because I went to like SEC school and was just kind of like a sheep in a herd. I was like in a sorority, had no sense of self or style or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I never thought at the time, like, I'm destined for more. I was just like blacking out. Like I seriously, I don't remember ever thinking like of anything beyond. I was just so in it at the time. But then when I look back, honestly, moving to Colorado during COVID, I moved here in 2021, was like when I found myself, I think, because I lived in Atlanta after college and like was around all my college friends. And I don't know if y'all had that experience at all, but I felt so like stifled. Like I had to be in this role for other people.
Paste.
Yes, like copy and pasted. And it was like not allowing me to grow. And it was only me that was putting that expectation on myself. But still, like moving out here, not knowing anyone, that's what I was craving. And I always like solo traveled and stuff too, like in Europe and stuff. And I was like, I just need to like get the fuck out and start over. So I'm sure that was really cool for both of y'all to really just like immerse yourself somewhere totally different. I mean, you learn so much about yourself when you're faced with that.
Yeah. I felt like during college, I was like, I'm ready to do something different. I mean, I went to UT,
yeah,
which is like
big school.
So
were you at Virginia Tech? Okay, yeah, that's a big school.
And
too, right?
you went to high school in Virginia, so I'm sure like a lot of your high school people, right? Went to,
yeah.
I mean, like everyone.
Not like Texas though.
Texas is, I mean,
yeah,
loved
Texas
it, but like, it's basically just times 10 your high school in college.
It's a continuation kind of.
Yeah. Which is fun, but I was like, okay.
It gets old after a while.
Yeah.
And have both of y'all always loved the outdoors? Like, has that been something that you've always gravitated towards? Or no?
Yeah. I always grew up. It was never like I was always outside. Like me, I'm the middle of 3 sisters, so we were always playing sports. I had a lake house growing up, so wake surfing and skiing behind a boat. We were always outside playing any sport imaginable. It wasn't like TV was for fun. It was like, we were always outside. So that's, me and Elle are like, we just need to like go touch grass. We need to be outside. Even if it's not like being active, like we just need to go lay.
Yeah.
Earth.
Yeah, earth.
Just be in the fresh air.
Yeah.
Do you feel the same?
Yeah, no, definitely. I grew up spending my summers in some sort of capacity outside. Like Lake Michigan, I go to Michigan for like 2 months in the summer, and we spend literally 12 hours on the lake.
Oh, that's so fun.
And it's amazing.
Yeah.
And then Crested Butte is just in the mountains. Yeah. But yeah, I knew I needed that. And Dallas didn't really have that. Austin did. I loved Austin because you're on the lake.
I feel like Austin's just so hot though. It's like hard to spend.
It is.
And I'm from Alabama, so I'm like used to the heat and the humidity and all that. But like coming here, it's like it's so nice.
It's so nice. Seasons.
I know. It's the first time I've ever had actual seasons in my whole life.
Like fall.
Like 4
I've never
seasons.
seen orange leaves before.
No. I mean, it's actually insane. And then having like a distinct in between instead of it just being like hot, freezing, then hot on Christmas, and then cold.
Except here, it's kind of random. Like it snowed last night. We woke up with snow on the grass, and now it's like green.
I know.
So,
which was nice because I came from like 8 inches of snow. So I was like, it was snowing this morning when I left, and I was so excited when I saw green. I was like, yes. I just need a break. I feel like by like end of April, I get pretty burnt out.
Yeah,
from skiing. I love skiing, but
I know. I think I'm done with the season. Season.
Not gonna go back?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think I'm tapped out.
No, I feel that. Well, okay, so we had our exploratory phases. We've had few jobs, preschool teacher, which ended really, really well.
Yeah, I've had 3 jobs in the last
3 years.
3 years.
Same.
That's so
But this
bad.
is probably the happiest I've ever been. And I'm probably the most broke I've ever been.
Same.
That's so cool though.
Yeah.
But I mean, but everyone has different grades of happiness and like different goals. Like some people's goals are purely monetary and some of them aren't. Like I wouldn't say mine is purely monetary at all because there's so many other things that I value over that, you know?
And I think, I mean, my mom always told me this growing up, like if you do what you love, the money will come.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that speaks volumes to being authentic
Mm-hmm.
in what you love.
Yeah, I agree.
We talk a lot about authenticity with Unfiltered too.
Yeah.
So.
The pillar.
One of the pillars, yeah.
One of the pillars.
So tell me how we started Unfiltered. And you guys still have corporate jobs?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes. So we're not doing
Corporate.
Not corporate. I contract for a menstrual health company.
Oh.
So I do her social media marketing and like brand collaborations and work with influencers.
Oh,
as
cool.
well. Yeah. So it kind of aligns. It aligns with what I'm interested in.
Yeah, for sure.
It's in the creative space.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Yeah.
As opposed to working in technology sales. And horrible.
Didn't you work at a weather company too at one point?
In college, yeah. I was producing news. I've done it all.
Yeah, that one was. I remember
Really
seeing
For like
Testing
a,
it all.
a
I was
very
like,
conservative news
I
company.
didn't know you were into news anchoring.
I wasn't
weather.
anchoring. I was writing, which no.
Not for
I
you.
should not have been writing news. No one should have been reading my words on a teleprompter.
Wait, what did y'all both study?
Business psychology.
Okay.
PR and marketing.
Okay.
Mhm.
Cool.
But
Yeah.
Unfiltered. I'll say Unfiltered started because me and Ella were getting jobs or just like organic jobs of people or friends coming to us and be like, will you photograph this? Like, we love your eye
Oh.
for this. And so we were getting paid to do photography, and I've always had an eye for it. I know Ella has too, but
Separately you guys were or together?
separately.
Separate.
Okay.
And like, I've always loved the way Ella's shot photography and like
Mhm.
her eye for things as well. So one day we just came together and we're like, this would be cool as shit if we did this together, because you have certain strengths that I do not at all. And I love working with you and bouncing ideas off
And I
of
think
you.
we both wanted to like make our photography an actual thing. Like we
Mhm.
wanted to make a business off of it
Mm-hmm.
individually. And then we're like, wait, why don't we just do it together?
Yeah.
Like I don't think I couldn't do it by myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
True. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Well, I
don't
didn't know
know.
how to start because I don't like posed photography. I don't want to take pictures of weddings or couple photos. I have, but that doesn't seem like authentic and normal to me. It's very hard for me to just like pose someone and be like, okay, now like laugh.
Oh.
Yeah. Can't do
I
that.
like to like I wish I could just be a fly on the wall. I envision myself a fly on the wall in a certain setting where I'm taking pictures.
Okay.
Like,
Trying to capture the movement versus like forcing it.
yes.
Kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like
it feels
capture the emotion.
Very natural.
yeah.
Mhm.
It doesn't feel authentic to me, so I kind of get uncomfortable. So I was like, how am I going to build a website off of like the photos I've taken in the past, and like who's going to hire me to like just like, I don't know, take pictures of them laughing. So then you're the same way, I would say. I don't want to speak for you, but
No, 100%. And we like in the beginning when you had like your own solo project with Will Day in the yoga, and then I had with the Aguasol one, and we were trying to build the website to like get it started.
Mhm.
And then we threw in like all of our pictures, and they all were the same, right? And it's just like super like just candid, like natural, like
A very like distinct style.
Yeah.
yeah. And I think
then yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that was the end of my thought.
I was just going to say, I think we got our first project with Yard Sale, not because of our work we were getting paid for, because of the work we had just done on our own, taking pictures of friends and
Oh
family.
yeah, we sent them all
and
our
in
personal
places. Yeah, we sent them
photos.
like a deck of our personal photos, and like, this is the vision that we want. We were like, okay, we're on to something. And I feel like we see things maybe differently than, I don't know, other photographers, or I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. No, I mean, like that's why I feel like we align so well, because we just shot a campaign. I mean, y'all shot the campaign. I didn't do diddly dick. But on our first call, when we were talking before we met in person, just like about the vision and stuff, I was so pleasantly surprised by how, like, I feel like y'all see things in the way that I want my brand to be represented. And I think that's with any business too. I always tell people, if you notice your thoughts and you're thinking about oh, I wish this existed in this way, or there's like a gap that you notice, always pay attention to that, because there are probably other people that also feel that same way and like wish that thing existed. So same with like your eye, like there are probably people craving something different out of photography and more like non-traditional, or just like it's such a story, like telling a story in a certain way.
Yeah. And I also feel like it's like all about connection and community, right? Like we align with like your brand and like we've built a friendship off of it. And like same with like yard sale and like being able to like, I don't know, it's more of like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Words.
Yes.
line.
Just like pick up where I left off.
Like, do you mean it's more of like an authentic connection? And, yeah.
And like it's easier
connected
to like get the content if you have that authentic connection and community. And like all of our like you've given us like all your merch and stuff to take the pictures of, but like we put our friends in it and like we're like going out doing something like really fun. Like the pictures that we took for you, honestly, we didn't even plan. Like we started sledding and we were like,
woke up 9 a.m.
Oh, yeah,
opened a bottle of champagne. We're like, we're shooting raw.
Yeah, no,
that's exactly how we were supposed to shoot it.
Yeah,
like
yeah, and it was just super, I don't know, just natural and like authentic, and like our every picture is like true.
And
right?
but
like,
I couldn't have imagined it another way. Like I couldn't imagine us like being up in the mountains and sober and being like, okay, put these hoodies on and now like.
And smile,
move around.
Yeah, it just made sense. We started sledding and we were like later on in the day gonna shoot raw, and then we're like, wait, go freaking get the Raw and Rebellious merch. We're shooting right now.
Yeah.
And it was super spontaneous. And Ella texted me last week. She's like, that was the best day of my life. It was truly.
I mean, when I was watching the videos, I'm like, I wish I was there. Like, it was so fucking fun.
Me and my roommates get back. It was like a combination of her roommates and my roommates and Grace. And one of my roommates came back and we were just sitting on the couch. She was like, I'm moving to Crested Butte. And literally the next week she was booking appointments with a realtor to look at properties in Crested Butte. I swear to God, it was like life-changing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, I think I said probably like 50 times that day, this is the best day of my life. This is the best day of my life. Into the night. And then I was like, toast. I was like, okay, best day too hard.
Best day over.
Yeah.
Like, now I feel horrible.
Now I sleep for like a week.
Yeah.
No, I mean, but that's exactly how it came across, and that's why I was so excited. I mean, because when I think, like, when we were doing Beer Olympics this past weekend, one of my guy friends is in one of, like, my new crew necks that I'm launching, and I was just, like, taking, like, random photos of him while he was, like, hammered, like, DJing for us and, like, playing the drinking games, and, like, I'll probably use those photos, and, like, I was hammered, too, but, like, I would never be like, all right, put this on and smile.
Yeah.
Because that's also just, like, not my brand. Like, I want people, when they see it, to, like, feel what that day would have felt like, kind of thing, and like see themselves in it. And when I was looking at y'all's content, that's exactly how I felt. Like it captured so much emotion and so much. I mean, it was so fucking sick. Like I could not have been more impressed. And with what y'all showed me, and after our phone call, all that to say, everything that you're saying translates with your work and with your words when you're describing your vision and like how you see things. Like, and even as you're talking about it here, you're like, well, maybe we see things different than other photographers, but like maybe we don't. It's like, no, you do. Like you guys totally have a gift. I mean, it's not accidental that you're getting these jobs and like working with these people that you align with and like working with each other with a similar vision. Like I think it's all like, it's very real. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, it's been fun.
It instills a lot of confidence in us because I think me and Ella's biggest thing is always feeling like we can do better. And I feel like everyone's their own.
Totally.
Like,
imposter syndrome is crazy real.
Yeah, and so it's nice that we have each other because when Ella's down, I'm like, no, like you fucking got it. Like, you've really got this. And when I'm down, she'll be like, you got this. Like, this looks amazing.
Yeah.
And pick each other up.
And I think a lot of it too is just faking it, like pretending like you know exactly what you're doing. And if someone asks for something, if it seems like, I mean, not like lying, but like something that you haven't done before, but you think you can do, just say yes. And then you figure it out. Like just pretending like you're more professional than you are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know?
I think you lead with that a lot. Like with our projects and something, I'll be like, I don't know, like, can we do this? And you're like, yeah.
I'm like, we'll figure it out.
Figure the fuck out.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. Here we go. Follow me.
Yeah.
And then I follow you. I'm like, are you sure? You're like, yes, just come on. Come on. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Where are like the strengths and weaknesses here? Like, how do y'all feel like you balance each other out? I guess both creatively and in business.
I don't know. I feel like we see things similarly.
Just spell that out on the video.
Yeah, similarly.
Yeah. I can't spell it. Could you spell it?
No.
Nope.
Don't
even
to.
ask. I've had 2 sips of this Aperol and I am already tipsy. So
oh wait, yeah, I forgot you're a big lightweight.
I am huge lightweight.
too.
So tipsies.
Oops. I don't know. We were talking about this the other day. We were talking about this yesterday, I think, actually.
I know. I can go. You know.
Yeah, you go.
I think for me, my huge weakness, and I'm very impatient when it comes to technology. Shocker. But like we needed to build a website, and I'm like, no fucking way, I'm not doing that. Like, I don't know how to do that. I don't even want to start. And Ella's like, I can get that done in 10 minutes. I'm like, oh my god, thank
thank
God.
That sounds like your worst nightmare. Yeah.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
So
that's
one
that stuff.
for me.
I don't know where it comes from, but yeah, I feel like you're really good at connecting and like starting the conversations with people, like outreach. No, you don't think so? I think you are.
Okay, thank you. I don't know. I think you're just as good. Yeah. Would you mean like in person?
Yeah.
No, we went up to the king and queen at Suds and Kegs. And you're like, can I get a picture of you? with your you said with your hat, and she goes, it's a crown. I was like,
whoa.
No, and then she goes, where are you guys
Madame?
from? Where are you guys from? We're like, Denver. She goes, oh. Okay,
wait,
don't talk to the queen.
It's really funny. Whenever we'll like meet people on the ski lift and we're like, oh, where are y'all visiting from? And they're like, oh, we live here. And we're like, oh, nice, where? And they're like, in Denver. And we're like, oh, so you don't live here.
Yeah.
And I rue the day that I'm on the lift and someone asks me where I live.
Yeah.
And I have to say Denver instead of Breck. Like if I'm in Breck,
Yeah.
I'll be like,
I know, it is hard.
but I will
Hey,
never
at least
say.
you don't say from Texas.
But
That's a hard one
true.
too.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
About spring break time, everyone in Breck is like, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
All the Texas people.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
But anyways, do y'all do a lot of outreach or is it word of mouth and like people reaching out to you?
We do a lot of outreach.
Okay.
And I think that's like one of the milestones that we've been talking about. We want to reach is like where we kind of are stepping back from the outreach and like we're getting
Comes in
outreach
organically. Yeah.
reversed outreach.
Yeah.
Universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's totally a sign of growth though. Yeah. And it's also, I think another sign of growth is like getting to choose and be more picky about what you do.
I mean, we've had 1 or 2 conversations with brands that just like didn't align with how we wanted to shoot, and we like pitched ideas and they pitched ideas, and we just kind of like, I just like don't see this us able. We didn't feel like we were going to be able to shoot the way we know how to shoot naturally, so we just kind of let it fizzle out. So
I think that's great though.
Yeah.
I think knowing what your niche is, if you stick to that, like people will see the work that you do and they'll be attracted to like to y'all's eye and like your work versus like trying to force something that doesn't feel comfortable for you, because that's why you guys started.
And I think we want to like stay true to that. Like, I don't know, using like for instance, like, I don't know if you can block it up, but Celia, Grace knows Celia. They wanted to like get like product shots of like their supplements, and then they wanted it like a very specific way, and like they knew exactly how they wanted it, which is great, but I don't know, we were like, we need to be able to create and like put our style in,
like be able to work on the fly instead of it being it was post. It was going to be post. Whereas you wanted product shots too, but it was different.
But it was more so like a shot that you could clearly see what the product is versus like poses, I think.
And I think it also has to do with the brand. Like I think a supplement brand just doesn't align with what we wanted to do, because it does have to kind of be posed to get the shot that they need for their website or their
it's
social
hard to get
media.
like lifestyle like movement moments or whatever comes organically with that type of product.
We were like trying to think of ways and nothing was really aligning. Like maybe we can get someone like skiing down the mountain with the vitamins.
And
they're like, I mean, that would be
that would be cool.
I
don't think so.
Yeah.
I would say another one of my weaknesses, I feel like I get overwhelmed and I tend to like over prepare, and Ella is just like,
I get overwhelmed too.
Yeah, but you, I don't know, maybe we just balance each other out when we get overwhelmed at different moments.
Work together, because like whenever you're overwhelmed,
you're like, deep breath.
I'm like, well, yeah. Well, I don't know if maybe I say that.
No, you don't say that. I'm saying that. She's like, Okay, Buddha.
She's like, get your shit together, dude.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, calm down. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But no, whenever you get overwhelmed, I'll like calm you down, or I get overwhelmed, I call you and you're like, okay.
There tends to always
Chill.
be like strategy in the other person's.
Yeah, which like if I were by myself, I'd probably just spiral and then quit.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
So
Yeah.
But do you feel like because y'all do have jobs outside of this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So do you feel like that's kind of nice to take away like a pressure on it? You're more so just like building it as it feels organic, or is there still like a pressure in some way?
That's a good way to put it. Building as it feels organic. Because that does resonate with me, but at the same time, I mean, yeah, I couldn't quit my job and fully lean on Unfiltered to pay all my bills.
Right. Which is totally fine.
But we've talked about this, like Ella and I travel so much that we're like, why are we even paying rent? And then the thought of like turning Unfiltered, and like we were talking about, maybe we can travel like all year round for a year and just set up all year round for a year. Just set up like 3 months of doing shoots for brands and then see where the next location would be. But then I also had this thought of Unfiltered turning into just like storytelling behind the picture, because Ella was talking about some guy in New Zealand that has like a surf shack that's like, I don't know, 4 miles up in the middle of nowhere, and no one knows about him, but just like capturing that moment and then telling the story behind that also sounds like an avenue that Unfiltered could go into, and just like,
which is nice because like we can, it's building organically, right? Like we don't we kind of have a vision, but at the same time we're just like building off of like what comes to us and where our life is bringing us, and we also have jobs where I can pay the bills on the side,
right?
Yeah.
So it's not like we're not feeling this pressure, like, oh gosh, we have to get projects right now to pay rent.
Yeah,
totally.
Whereas, like we have jobs, hopefully, ideally, later.
Yeah, I mean, the goal would definitely be to have it
full time.
Yeah.
But I think, y'all still in the early stages. What's cool is like you saying like, okay, well, why are we paying rent? We love to travel. Is thinking about everything that you love the most and figuring out ways to make that like a part of Unfiltered.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it is an extension of the two of you and like your friendship and like you as individuals. So thinking about all the things that you love the most, I think is always good, because then that passion will like shine through and the excitement will shine through in whatever it is that you're doing.
I feel like that's kind of like how Ron Abellia started, right? I mean, it's like flown. Is that
sword?
What?
I don't know. Merged into like a whole, like a lot of different avenues for you.
Yeah.
Like you've made it a podcast, and it like started off as jewelry, and then merch, and then like your events and stuff like that. So it's kind of like,
totally. I mean, even me doing Rebellious Ski Club stemmed from, I didn't know where I wanted to go with it, but I love skiing, so I was trying to like monetize, like how could I make skiing a part of my job kind of thing. And also like I felt this gap of like community, because I didn't know how to ski, but I wanted to feel cool and like learn how to ski, but I didn't know anything, and I just felt like such a loser because everyone's like, oh, you can't wear that brand, like you're not a good enough skier, and I'm like, totally, so I'm just gonna make my own. And anyone can wear it.
Good point.
Like you are right. Probably don't deserve to wear Arc'teryx, however. But I mean, I think that's a fun thing about, I mean, no matter how long you have a business, you can pivot as many times as you want. But especially being so new and not having that pressure, like to like, I have to pay these bills, I have all of these things. It's like, it's still such a baby that you can literally, there's no rules. You can mold it into whatever you want.
Which is so fun.
How sick is that?
Yeah, it's so much fun. And it's like opened up a whole new community too.
Yeah.
Like it's been so fun. I feel like, when did we even start? Like 3 months ago?
Yeah. And I think like Hannah was the one that told me about it.
Yeah.
Well, and a community that I've been craving. I think if I can circle back to my college experience, I just didn't have these weren't my people. So like opening this door with Unfiltered is like, I feel like right where I need to be.
Yeah.
Which is so cool. Yeah. And I
totally same.
Feeling like seen and understood by people. Like you don't have to explain yourself.
Like,
you just get to kind of like show up.
Yeah. I feel like that's also just like the Colorado atmosphere, like the community. There's so many young adults that are ambitious and like entrepreneurs, and like once like you start to meet like one person, then you meet so many other that are on the same path, and it's been so fun.
It's a very like inclusive community.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember
really.
living in the South. I don't know if Texas was like this or Virginia, but it was very like cliquey. Like if I had a new friend move to town in Atlanta and I like wanted to invite her to like a wine night, my friends would be like,
Yes.
I don't think so. I'm like, what?
Yeah, no.
For why? Like,
Yeah.
it's so dumb. Or like everyone's obsessed with like I know every name of every high school in Atlanta because people always talk about where they went to high school. I'm like, why are we still talking about this?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But here, when I moved here, I didn't know anyone and like would meet a friend. She's like, oh, I'm actually having like the most intimate birthday dinner you can imagine at my grandparents' house. Do you want to come? I'm like, sure. You know, but like that's how it should be. Like everyone's just so like open and welcoming.
No, it
and
is
it's
like
so
that.
refreshing.
Yeah.
And it allows you to kind of like step into whoever it is you want to be. Like you get to try on different masks almost and decide which one like fits you the best. And then when you get accepted like as that true authentic self, it is the best feeling ever.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah,
It really
Texas was like that too.
I mean, I feel like anywhere could be kind of like that, but somewhere that brings so many transplants, like there's so many cities like this that a lot of people move to, everyone's experience this like feeling of like not knowing anyone or trying to figure out who they are.
Yeah.
And so they can be just very like kind about it.
Yeah. So you moved here how many years after college?
So I graduated in 2017. So I moved here in 2021. So I was in Atlanta for like 4 years, I think, if the math is right. And it was like probably more like your college experience where I felt so stifled and I was like, there's got to be more. And I love my friends from there. It was not them. It was literally me putting these like walls up against myself. Like I didn't feel like I could like be anything other than the version that I was because of people's expectations, which is like, they probably didn't give a shit. I was just making this up as I went. And then I moved here and it was like the most free I ever felt ever. It was crazy. So yeah, I've been here for like 4 years, I think, almost 5 in August.
When did you move to Breck?
2 years ago.
Okay.
I was in Denver for 2 years, tore my ACL my first ski season, which was so gnarly. I was just like pizzaing down the mountain going full speed. People would be like, you go so fast. And I think they were like just scared because I was like, ah! And I was like, oh my God, thanks. Like, yeah, I rip. What do you mean? And like the weirdest fucking outfits too. Oh my God. I'll show you guys this video of me. It's like me, full gaper gap in this like metallic jacket with a fur hood. This is like in maybe it was 2020. I can't remember when I moved here, but metallic. And I like obsessed with like, I mean, I'm always wearing like crop tops and like slutty clothes still, but it's more just because I'm like obsessed with myself. It's not really validation wise. And I would wear these like tight Athleta ski pants and like love to wear crop jackets so that like my ass would show. I'm like,
no,
what?
I love it.
No, literally hilarious. And like the longer I've lived here, like the baggier my outfits have gotten. But it's so funny, like looking back, and I was just like pizzaing, like focusing on getting down School Marm and Keystone, and I thought I was the hottest ski girl you've ever seen. I had like a tight onesie at one point, like I was just slaying the day.
I love that.
But tore my ACL and then recovered after 9 months, and I was like, okay, I don't know how to ski, but like I think I would like it because I like being outside and I want to like try to get good at it. So I moved to Frisco with like a random roommate. And then we became best friends and then met a bunch of people in Summit, like through her because her older sister lived there. Then he came back to Denver, then moved to Winter Park, then Breck. So I've just been bopping. Winter Park is a really great mountain, but weird town.
Yeah, I was trying to think about the ski town. I was like,
yeah, the town, it's like, I wouldn't recommend living there. It's a very interesting community. I mean, I'm sure people have had different experiences, but we had like a house of like 8 people and people from Denver would always come visit. So like we had our people, so we were fine, but we would go out and we were like, but the mountain is so fun. I love Mary Jane and Winter Park. Yeah. It's a good time.
Yeah. I love Winter Park.
Did y'all grow up skiing?
My family would do like a week. I mean, for spring break or like over Christmas growing up. And then it wasn't until COVID when we went online for school, me and like 5 friends were like, okay, let's get out of Austin and go do something. And so we all got jobs as lifties in Telluride.
No
I did
way.
not know that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, that's sick.
Yeah, we got a condo, 3 guys, 3 girls, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. We turned the living room into a bedroom and just became, we were lifties for like 2 months or something like that.
You're so cool.
That's
really
so
fun.
cool.
Yeah, I know.
What's Telluride like?
I love that.
I love Telluride. I think Telluride might be my favorite mountain after Crested Butte.
Mm-hmm.
But no, Telluride's such a fun mountain. The like town itself is so much fun. It's bigger. There's like more going on. There's like a club, which is, I don't know. I would consider that like big for a ski town.
Totally. And we've got
then-
Cecilia's and Brack, but that's fine.
Cecilia's.
Well, how are y'all feeling in present day? I mean, like going through like all the travels that you've been through, the moves and stuff. I mean, I know your 20s can be kind of a weird time. And I was talking to a friend about this that just turned 30 because I just turned 30. Like, it's weird when we're in college, everyone's kind of at the same level. You're all in the same grade, class, like doing kind of the same shit. And then you graduate and everyone is doing totally different things.
Yeah.
So it's super easy to like compare yourself or feel like you should be at a certain spot when you're not, or when you're doing something different than your peers.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely hard. I don't know. We talk about this probably like every other day.
Yeah.
But just like enjoying exactly where you are in life and like not comparing it to anyone else. Like I can compare it to all my friends that are like making times 20 as I am, but working behind a desk, and that's like they have like their work and then they have their after work social life. Which I would not want to do at all. I wouldn't trade this for the world. And just like trying not to compare and just like loving where you are.
It's definitely easier said than done. It's something I battle with probably weekly.
Yeah.
Especially dating a guy who's like super successful and like knows exactly what he wants and knows where his future is going. And I am so, that's intimidating to me. But at the same time, when I take a step back and it's like, what do I actually want? Like, I'm so comfortable with like not having structure because that almost feels safer to me.
Yeah, I agree.
To test out and start over or go to Italy and figure out what's best for me. And so I think that feels a little unsafe to people around you. Like my mom is constantly like, what are you doing with your life? I'm like, I just have to like feel it out or I won't. Like,
just let me experience it.
Yeah, I just have to feel it out. But it's definitely intimidating and I cry about it. And it's hard, but
it's really hard. Yeah.
It is like what you mentioned about everyone is in the same pace of life.
Yeah.
And then you break off after college and like your 20s are supposed to be so much fun. It's like, no, your 20s are hard as fuck.
Yeah. So hard.
Like you're finally in the driver's seat of your life. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, I can just do this, or I can do this, or I could be homeless the next day. Like, my mom's no longer paying my bills. Like, yeah.
Well, and it's like to your point of your mom or your boyfriend or whoever, like thinking that your path is unsafe or like not the right way to go. It then makes you question yourself, and like you would be fine if you weren't thinking about it through other people's eyes. It's like what Grace and I were just talking about too. Like that's really hard, is letting go of other people's perception. And it's such a practice, to your point of like, you know, it's easier said than done sometimes. I mean, I still do the same thing. It's, I think, the same concept of like not caring what people think and being unapologetic. You're not just going to wake up one day and be like, well, I just don't care anymore. Like you have to continually like work that muscle of like, oh, I see someone doing this and I'm like noticing this emotion coming on of like jealousy or like feeling worse about what I'm doing. Let me like give that space, really think about why I'm feeling that way about this certain person, and then like focus on myself again and like get back in my own lane.
Definitely.
Yeah. I feel that like push and pull.
Yeah.
Because I get wrapped into these conversations that really get me thinking about like stability of my future and like what's going to set me up for success. And so I get like so in that mindset. And I'm like, wait, that's not what I want.
Yeah.
That's exactly why I'm here.
Right.
And then it takes me like a day, and I like call Ella every time, like, are we doing something wrong? Am I doing something wrong? Like, not you, but like, and then I like recoil. I'm like, okay, like I'm so confident in myself to like make this work. Yeah. So
and it's like what you want to be doing.
Yeah, it's what I want to be doing.
And like, yeah, it's like can be stressful at times, but it's like so much fun too. I almost feel like the stress is like part of the fun too.
Yeah,
it is.
Finding comfort in the chaos. Yeah,
totally.
Yeah.
And like being okay either way. Like I have so many friends, same thing, that they have a corporate job making 20 times more than I am ever, and they fucking hate it. However, or they're not passionate about it, but then they log off and then they have like, it's like severance in real life kind of almost. But I think also it's being validated in both experiences because it's totally okay. I think entrepreneurship gets glamorized a ton too, especially with like influencers and content creators and social media of like, everyone should be a girl boss and do whatever they want to do. And it's like, no, it's totally fine to have a corporate job or like have a boss. Like it's not for everyone. And if you're feeling that pull to do something different, everyone's idea of success is different.
Right.
Totally, so that's totally okay. Yeah. Both paths are equally good. They're just not going to be, they're not going to be good for the same person.
How have you kept true to yourself in your brand and like not strayed away? As far as like, have you ever wanted to give up and be like, maybe I should like, maybe I should do something else and like not do Raw and Rebellious anymore?
Yes. I think it's a really good lesson. Like you're always like, if you guys take this full time, when you guys take this full time or whatever you do on this path, like you're always going to have days where you are so overwhelmed and you're like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, this is so stupid. Wait, what? Like, why am I posting these silly little posts? Why am I doing this stupid podcast? Like, what is the point of all of this? And allowing it, I've just learned like giving that space and then just letting it pass, because you will wake up the next day or a week from now and be like amped up about something else. So I would say that. And also just like, I think you guys are really good with your pillars. Like, you know why you started Unfiltered and you have a very clear vision. So I think if you stay true to that, you're staying true to your like authentic creativity. And you guys were doing this before without getting paid. Like, this is something that you love and you get like amped up about and excited about. And so I think if you stay true to that while also allowing yourself to pivot. If you feel a pull towards like a different medium or a different style, that's totally fine. Like, your why and your pillars are not concrete. You can change them anytime you want. If there's something that you're feeling more passionate about, or you take a project about like storytelling and you start doing something completely different, lean into it. Like, that's totally, I mean, I was doing jewelry and I'm from Alabama and now I do ski clothes. Like, it doesn't make any sense really, but like, you know, it worked. Yeah. So yeah, I think I don't know if that's good advice, but that's what I would say. But there's a lot of like, I mean, I had my business during COVID. That was horrible. You know, people were buying toilet paper, not jewelry. Yeah. So I totally pivoted and just started like talking to people on social media and making tutorials on how to make jewelry at home, because everyone wanted to like start their own little side hustles because they were bored. And so just, I think pivoting too helps a lot with that. Yeah, it's a grind, but it's so rewarding and it's so worth it. And if you're in it for the right reasons, which y'all totally are, then I think you will stick with it for sure. And you have each other, which is so huge. Like, having that support because I just like cry to myself or call my corporate boyfriend. And he's like, you're doing corporate great. Boyfriend. Yeah. But I get that too, that like, it's not like imposter, but like my boyfriend is so successful in his job. And like, he could retire in his current job and he'd be like amped. And I almost feel this like newfound pressure of like, I've always just supported myself and like gone off of vibes and like travel all the time and like never owned anything other than like my car, which I've slept out of. And he is like so successful, owns a house, like doing all like the quote unquote like checklist things, I guess. Yeah. So I feel this newfound pressure of like, I want to be a provider too. I want to like be a big contributor, if not bigger. Like, I don't want a sugar daddy. Like, I want to be a sugar mama too. Like, I want to be successful. And so like, I struggle with that sometimes of like, is this so stupid? Like, what I'm doing, you know?
I've recently been struggling with that too.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, we're not close to buying a house or getting married or anything, but I still feel that like, I want to be like his equal. Like, I don't like to feel like I'm living above my means, or like he makes more money than me. So I can't afford what he's doing or something. Yeah. So I want to be like, no, I can fucking do that too. And I can pay for it myself. Yeah. So I have that pressure too. I'm like, fuck. Yeah. I'm like, level up, Chloe.
And y'all are both dating long distance, right? Or no?
Yeah. Crestview, Denver. So it's not too far.
Wait, was your boyfriend there?
Yeah, I think you met him.
At dinner?
Yes. Wait. Was he? Where was that? That might have been Dan.
Oh, I don't know.
He was at dinner for a little bit. That was probably him. But you met him at Jose's too. He came up and
yes. Okay, yeah. Cool.
He was just here actually. He just left.
That is long distance, I would say.
Yeah. 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
So
how long have y'all been with your boyfriend?
Like a month.
We both started dating our boyfriends on the same day, which is like kind of weird.
No, not the same. Well,
like mine was like 2 days after.
Yeah,
that's kind of fun.
Yeah,
recently.
And they both just got mad at us.
They both just got mad at us.
Having an unstructured life.
Yeah, they're like, yeah. I think it feels, and this is not just for my boyfriend, this is for my poor mother too, of like, what are you doing? Like, are you going to be safe in a few years?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you going to be healthy?
Yeah. A woman of the streets.
Yeah. I think there's like a lot of uncertainty around the way I want to live my life because it's so unstructured, because I like to pivot and try new things and pack my bags and move to Italy if I want to. So I think when someone loves you and cares about you, and especially wants to be with you in a romantic way of like, where are you going? And like, what's your next move? There creates this like sort of instability. And so it creates an insecurity in me of like, should I be living my life a different way? And like, obviously I want to consider him and consider my family in the way I live my life. So I'm considerate of their feelings.
Right.
But it does create this like tension between myself, like, should I be living a different way? And I don't.
No.
And like and like in an apologetic form as well. Of like,
yeah.
I'm sorry I made you feel that way. And then I step back and I'm like, wait, but I really like the way I live.
Right.
And I honestly feel like that's what you're supposed to be doing in your 20s. It's not like I'm going to be 35 with a family and kids, and I'm like, oh, by the way, I'm going to Europe for a month. I'm just fleeing. Yeah, like I would never do that when I have like my unit.
Yes.
You know.
Totally.
So that's what I'm struggling with right now. I think it's a little scary to be like a boyfriend in the situation.
It is. I mean, when you're used to living selfishly, like you said, having to consider someone else is really hard. And I feel like I've struggled with that too. And it's almost like you kind of just have to take into account the things that you value the most, that make you the most happy. Because I think as we grow, we will change. And like when you're in a relationship, you do become kind of like a unit. But you also shouldn't have to sacrifice like core things about yourself to make someone more comfortable with you. Like you don't have to be like an easy pill for someone to swallow. You should like be allowed to explore all these things because we're not 40, you know, like
don't want to age yourself.
Yeah. I mean, even my mom, like I'm doing all these like Bali hosted trips. My mom's like, well, you're not going to do this forever, right? Like you're going to like have a baby soon, right? I'm like, Mom, shut the fuck up.
Like eventually, but
like one day. Yeah. And like, no, and it's the same thing. She's like, well, if Patrick moves to Denver, then like, are you just going to keep jetting off all the time and leaving him when he moved here for you?
That's like so my mom.
Yeah. But Patrick's like, go get that bread. Like I'll meet you over there. Like, I don't give a shit.
I love that.
But it's just like, it's funny though, like having to make yourself like digestible for people. Sometimes they're feeling like you have to, like, it just makes you question things. But I think another good thing to remember in that, and like if you're going through this too, of like if you're feeling an emotion from your boyfriend feeling that way, and I'm not saying his emotions aren't valid, but you almost have to think of it as like, is this mine to feel or is this his? Like I'm still just living my life exactly the way that I have. So let's maybe explore why this is bothering you so much. Like I know you care about me, of course, and it's coming from a place of love, but maybe like understanding like, well, this is how I feel love, and this is how I experience like genuine happiness, and this is why, and that's okay that we're different. Like you can be, it's probably kind of nice that they're more structured because then you get to just go, I mean, because that's how I am. I'm like all over the place at all times, and my boyfriend is like the most like sturdy thing ever, and so I can just like flit off and do whatever I want, and then he's still there, not in like a using way, but I think it's okay to be different. Exactly. But it's okay for you to still be like, yeah, maybe I will go to Italy, or maybe I will go do this or go do that.
How do you feel about that?
Why is your boyfriend mad at you?
It's literally the same reason, which is hilarious.
Do they know each other?
No, they should.
They could have a support group.
Yeah,
literally.
They should have each other
support.
They should have each other's numbers. Should just like talk shit about us.
Rant.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's just like. I mean, his words. Actually, I probably shouldn't do quoting. I'm like, he just doesn't understand the unstructuredness, which like neither do my parents. And like I was literally on the phone with my dad earlier, and we were talking about summer plans. And I was like, yeah, I don't really know. Like maybe I'll drive up to Michigan with you guys and stay for like a couple weeks, and then like I'll probably go up and stay for a month later. He's like, I guess if we're using names, what does Nathan think? And I was like, you know,
I haven't checked in with him.
Actually. I don't know.
Good question.
No, but I don't know. And we got into a talk about it, and I found myself apologizing, which for my unstructured, busy lifestyle. And then a week later, I was like, you know what? I don't think I need to apologize for it. I think understanding his emotions for why obviously an unstructured life is stressful for someone else to look in on. I mean, stressful for my parents to look in on, but it's what makes me happy. And so why I don't think an apology is needed there.
Yes. Well, I don't know. I was gonna say I've felt this pressure in my last relationship as well, and feeling apologetic. And I think I'm finally realizing that all I need to do is learn how to communicate what I need and what they should be expecting from me, and communicating in a way that doesn't put me up against a wall and makes me change who I am. So I'm trying to learn that right now of hey, this doesn't mean that I'm leaving you in the dark, or I'm abandoning you, or our relationship doesn't mean anything. Just communicating that hey, I love you and I'm so in this with you, but this is what I'm going to do, and I'm gonna do my best to make it work.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm learning is trying to communicate.
Unstructured life does not mean unstructured relationships.
I think I agree.
I definitely agree. I do think your dad has a point, because I only am saying this from a place of I've done this, where I get in a relationship and I'm why the fuck do you care what I'm doing? What do you I'm yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll go to Austin this weekend. And they're oh, why didn't you tell me? I'm why would I tell you?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Mind your own business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you're doing that, but remembering when you do get in a relationship that you considering someone else, you do have to consider them, and you're not asking permission, because I think that's what really threw me off, because I've dated really controlling guys, really insecure guys, and I've had guys try to control me and I just rebel. I'm fuck you, I'm out, kind of thing. But just more being hey, I'm thinking about maybe going to Michigan for a while this summer, what are your plans, would love to include you, or even communicating this is just kind of how I live my life, but you tell me how I can better put it to you, how can I explain it to you in a way that you'd understand, or do I need to let you know in advance to make you feel in the know and safer about it? I don't think it's about changing who you are.
Yeah. I think that's definitely probably a fear of mine. And I haven't been, my last relationship was an 8-year relationship.
Wow.
And we broke up 4 years ago. So it's been, I think I'm afraid of getting back into that. I don't know. Maybe not, I don't know. No one else has been in my life for 4 years, and prior to that it was the same guy, where it was just a flow, right? So I didn't have to intentionally think about someone else.
It was natural.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So it's an adjustment. We're learning.
It is. And I think it's okay. It's also okay. I have a hard time being wrong, but it's okay to be wrong, or to just apologize, or say hey, maybe I'm not handling this right. Maybe
I'm not perfect.
Yeah, I am. Maybe this one time I'm not. So why don't you tell me, and I'm not gonna combat anything, how you're feeling, and we can just talk about how we're feeling without we're not arguing, and I'm not against you.
Yeah.
I just want to hear where you are coming from.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I feel it can be helpful too.
Yeah.
But relationships are fucking weird.
They are.
Especially for gals like us, because I just like to do
can't be
whatever I want.
literally
Bebop.
cannot be tamed.
Nope.
I'm do not tell me what to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Great idea, but no.
Oh, sorry, I missed your call. I'm on a flight now to Indonesia. Oopsies.
Literally. See you in a few weeks.
What do you think now, bitch? No, but it's fun too. Going back to your business, because I have so many friends in the content creation space, and working for themselves, and in the service-based industry. And I know it's really hard to figure out how to price yourself. I know.
Yeah.
Chugs Adderall.
Yeah. Literally.
But I ask because it's such a confusing thing. And especially for my photographer, videographer friends, it's so terrifying. So how did you decide how to price yourself, and how do you stick to that? Or any advice for anyone listening? 'Cause it's hard.
We're still trying to figure it out.
Okay.
I think it's definitely a growing space.
Yeah,
sure.
I think what we've learned is, I don't even know. I think everything's gonna look a little different, and that's what at first we were like, okay, let's do like packages or like a set price for this, and then that's not gonna apply to like every single project. So we made a sheets, right? Or Sam made a sheets.
No, I made.
Oh, you made the sheets.
Excel sheet.
You did?
Yeah. Well, he helped me with some formulas, but like I made it.
I'm horrible with Excel.
Where it like calculates like, okay, if we're gonna do X amount of hours, you like put in the hours, or like I don't even know how you explain it. You made the sheets.
I don't think it's super valuable to go into that. I would say it's really hard to put your value against a dollar sign.
Yeah.
I would say. So when we started, me and Ella were like, $200, great.
Yeah.
You know, like
Totally.
Yeah.
And so as we like started really diving into like what it takes to do what we want to do, and like getting our friends involved, driving to the mountains,
Your time.
It's all
our
gonna look-
time,
it's
like what is
different.
the value of our time? And then we started making that sheet and like really mapping it out to make sense, because we were just throwing out numbers. We're like, does $200 sound good? Okay, yeah. Well, we're broke. $200 sounds
Yeah,
great.
that's great. Sure.
Yeah. So I think it just got to a point of us bouncing off and like instilling confidence in each other, being like, no, you're so much, you're worth,
You're
that
worth
amount.
more.
Yeah, you're worth more. And like I feel like I'm your biggest fan. I love your work outside of our work. And when Ella was just like, yeah, this is like, I don't need to like ask for more than this. I'm like, yes, you do. Like,
Yeah, you're really
you're
good at that.
so capable and you're so talented. And yeah.
Well, I would say that's my weakness. That's your strength. You're always like, no, we are worth this. And I'm like,
Mhm.
are you sure? Like, that seems a little high. And you're like,
Yeah.
no, we are. Like, we're worth more. It's
Yeah.
like- so you lead that really well.
I mean, it's also just such an intimate, like vulnerable thing, because you're essentially,
Yeah.
you feel like you're telling someone like, hey, like I'm worth
It's
it.
like awkward
Yeah.
too.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, it's awkward for you because
Yeah.
you feel like you're like, I don't know. The
Pressure-
only word
there's
I can think of is
pressure.
like vulnerable.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like, then it puts this pressure on like, fuck, like what if they say no? What if they think we're crazy? What if they see the email and they just like laugh?
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is like never going to be the reaction. But I think for creatives, that is such a hard
It really
thing
is.
to do.
Yeah.
Yes, especially when you have like imposter syndrome
Totally. Which
Self-doubt.
everyone does.
and you compare yourself to other people or people that like I look up to and stuff. I'm like, oh, I can't do that. I mean, is that what they're looking for? And I do believe there's something unique about us, and that's why I have confidence in us. And I'm like, okay, we're worth this amount or whatever. But like,
Yeah.
money's
in
just
the
money in the
beginning,
end.
it was a hard thing to figure out. We
Mhm.
still are figuring it out. But in the
Mhm.
beginning, we were like calling everyone we knew that was like
Mhm.
in
the
photography.
space.
Yeah.
And like they all
Yeah.
gave different numbers.
Yeah, everyone has a different structure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so at the end of the day, we're like, hey, we just need to figure this out
For ourselves.
for ourselves. So
Yeah.
you can't compare either.
Yeah.
And like reaching out. It was helpful, but it helped us.
Yeah, I think we just took bits and pieces from what everyone said
Mm,
of our
yeah.
friends, and
No, I mean, but I think that that's what everyone does. And I think, as I was saying, with like your whys and your pillars can change anytime. You can change your prices anytime too. You could experiment. Like I've had friends that experiment with things and then they shoot out a price that they think is crazy and people are like, okay. And they're like, what? Like, wait, why haven't I been charging this the whole time? Or then they go way too high and then they notice that like they're not getting as many jobs and they're like, okay. Or I have friends that like are photographers and they hate doing weddings, but it's really good money. So they'll like price their weddings at an insane amount so that if someone does pay it, then it's worth their time.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, well, I'll do this. Like,
Yeah.
hell yeah. Are you
Yeah,
kidding?
yeah.
that's really smart.
So I think that's another important thing is like people don't remember like they think that like you think that they do. Like they're not paying attention. Like I can't even remember what I paid you guys for the project. Like if you quoted me something different next time, like I wouldn't notice. I would not. And like I wouldn't question it because it's like if you see a price for like one of my hoodies, you're not thinking like, I wonder what her cost was and like
That's
how much
so
time she put into that
true.
and like what did she pay her graphic designers and who designed this and like where'd this get made?
People don't
Yeah.
think
And it's the same thing
Yeah.
with services. I'm never thinking like, I wonder like what all goes into this number. Like what was
Yeah.
their formula? Like,
Yeah.
you would never think that. It's
Yeah.
just a number. And
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, that's
So
so
it's always good to
interesting, yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
And I think asking people helps too. That's what
Yeah.
a lot of my
Mhm.
friends have done too. They've just like looked at other people's websites and asked.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Did help. you said something the other day. You're like, if we're getting too many
projects,
then we're probably charging too little. If
that's
we're
true.
getting no projects, we're probably charging too much.
Yeah.
And then you can always just change it.
Yeah.
And someone told me this once too, because our hoodies are like $95, but they're like high quality, heavyweight.
They're amazing.
And thank you very much. I hope so. And I really try to stand behind that quality, similarly to like, your work. You stand behind your work. And someone told me once, like, if someone sees a premium price for something, same with like photography or videography, it's almost like it seems like it's a very premium service or a premium product. So they're like, oh, they must be really good if that's what they charge, and like they're confidently asking for that. Similarly to like a hoodie, oh, well, this must be like a really fucking good hoodie, and it is. So I'm not worried about it. But like it almost like makes people want it more. That's what someone told me that once, that like charge a little bit more and it'll make people want to like basically want you more.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that totally makes sense.
Because they just equate that with like a really good service versus if you're too cheap, you're like, wait, why are you so cheap? Like this is kind of.
Yeah, if something's too cheap, it's like unattractive.
I wonder if like
totally
luxury brands have gotten that way because of that.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, of course, the aesthetic and everything is part of it. And I think a business like yours is so word of mouth too. Like people see your work, or like someone's talking about you to their friends and they're like, oh, I'm going to hire this person as well. I mean, I'm amped for you guys. It's been so fun getting to know y'all and call y'all friends through working together. I mean, that's the beauty of owning your own business. You get to collaborate and make new friends.
When we saw you in Crested Butte and you were saying, like, me and I were like, that's Sarah. Sarah! like we had known you for like years. And then you just be like, oh my gosh, hey! I'm like, oh my gosh, she's my best friend.
It was the first time we met you in person.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
And you like naked mole rats slicked back right after skiing all day, like 5 years from my dad, and I was like, hey.
My friend's like, I'll take that. Yeah, you're like talking to us for like 20 minutes. Yeah.
Well, that's how I am too. Like I'll just like see random people and then I'll just like leave whoever I'm with for like so long.
Yeah, I do.
And so they're just like, we'll just take that. Like your dad said you weren't going to be around for a while because he saw you talking. So I was like, yeah. But no, it's so cool, and I'm so excited to see where y'all go. And I mean, after seeing the shoot that y'all did for me, like y'all are shooting everything forever for Ron Rebellious. I mean, seriously, crushed. So I'm so excited to keep working together and like explore that, and excited to see where y'all go. So tell everyone where they can find you on your personal accounts, on Unfiltered, everything.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Take it away, someone.
Hello, speak.
Our Instagram is Unfiltered Co.
We have an Instagram and we have a website.
Yeah, we have a website. Hopefully, it's up and running.
Yes, it is. It is.
It's running.
Yeah.
And the website's Unfiltered Co Lifestyle.
Yeah.
Our email too. Unfiltered Co Lifestyle.
We'll put it. It's like YouTube where you can like link it.
Yeah, we'll link everything in the show notes. Don't worry. Here you are. And then what's your personal? Don't skimp on that, girl.
Ella_Kelly. Spicy pepper.
Spicy pepper _
I think wasn't in the beginning you're like, should I change my username?
I know it's been spicy pepper since I was like 19.
I think you should keep it.
I know, and then definitely. I was like, should I get more professional? Should I actually put my name? I was like, I kind of like being incognito.
Yeah.
Spicy pepper is just. I changed it to spicy pepper, and then my mom changed hers to ghost pepper, and then my little sister changed hers to mild pepper.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I swear to God.
Cute.
I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah.
It's a movement.
Yeah.
No, I think you should keep it for sure.
We'll keep it.
Spicy pepper.
Yeah.
Be unfiltered.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on.
Well, thanks for trusting us with your brand, too.
Of course. It's very special. You guys. Truly.
Yeah.
My excitement was very genuine. I was like, on the computer, like, oh my God,
I know.
I'm excited to post it all.
I got that text. I was like, me and Ella called each other, like, did you see that text from Sarah?
I'm saving it for, since ski season's almost over, I want to save it for like the beginning of next season. So I'm like putting it all away. So if you're noticing that I'm not posting it, you're like, oh my fucking God. It's because I want to wait.
Is it okay that we posted it?
Oh yeah. You can post anything.
Okay.
You
we only
want.
have not that many followers.
No.
It's okay.
No. And I'll like collab and all that with you guys when I post it. I'm trying to like build up, because this past season, like so many things got messed up because we didn't have a manufacturer and we were like switching, and then our stuff launched late and things weren't ready in time and whatever. So I want to like really make Rebellious Ski Club 2026. It's like come in with like a bang and just have like all this stuff ready to go. Because last season we like didn't really. So yeah.
Do you do summer clothing?
Last season we did. We launched Rebellious Surf Club. It's like,
oh my gosh, yes, I saw that.
Yeah, like little like tanks and like crew necks and hats with naked surf girls and stuff. But we also launched that very late, like beginning of August, I think, last year. I'm still getting in the hang of like it takes so long to get everything made. So like planning ahead more. I'm not very good at that. So we're gonna like relaunch it this year and like do pop-ups in like San Diego and Charleston and like some like beachy places. So if you guys are gonna be at a beach,
I want to come.
And you wanna shoot anything,
we'll
we could talk about that as well. Yeah, you will. That's not like you. What? No,
someone like you. Yeah. Travel.
But no, this was so fun. Thank you guys so much for coming on and taking the time. Thank you guys so much for listening. Anyone out there?
Thanks. Sorry, words are hard. Words are hard.
Y'all absolutely crushed.
What was the word we were struggling?
Follow them on Instagram if you have a business or anything and want to reach out to Unfiltered. You absolutely should. And I will chat with y'all next week. Thank you so much. See ya.
Bye.